talk about that, they don't have a clue what's really going on. When a being
So
or an
can I ask
angel...
you a question?
Sure.
Do you know God?
Yes, I do.
And do you know God is omnipotent?
Yes.
And do you know that there is nothing that any demon or devil, that's all God too?
God created Lucifer for a reason.
No.
The reason...
No.
Wait. The reason...
God
No, don't
is
say
his
no.
creation and not separate and apart from creation because he's
So you can
omnipotent
believe...
and omnipresent, and nothing can exist outside of the all.
That, like
so
I
you're
said,
saying
God
that the
allows...
God at the top cannot be at the bottom, that doesn't predicate everything that takes place in the known and unknown?
No. See,
it's
God's...
a contradiction in what you're saying.
No. God created everything. You think God is responsible for a rapist?
Yeah.
No, he isn't. No, it isn't.
So God doesn't have control over the evil
God
that man does.
Lucifer.
Then he's not omnipotent.
Wait.
See, you're talking about the wrong God. You're talking about a Roman God. I'm talking about an old-time God.
I'm talking about a real God. God that doesn't care about planet Earth. God doesn't care what we do here.
Such a thing.
Real simple.
If that was so you're saying that God doesn't care about Earth?
If God wanted us to be spiritual, guess what? We would be. God put soul down here to learn what it is, not to be anything other than that. Lucifer keeps the people here in hell until they realize they're better than what mankind has sunk down into becoming.
But God can be... God, you're saying that the God wants people to be spiritual. So, and they're not. So God's not getting what he wants.
Aware.
So that God that you're talking about is not all powerful. We're not talking about the same.
No. He created hell for soul to learn. It's going to stay here until it learns to become better. That's simple.
And where did hell come from? Where did the concept of hell come from?
From man's ego. But this is hell.
So are we to be saved from hell, or are we put in hell as a punishment?
No, it's called growth. You go to kindergarten, not because it's the best place to go. It's the only place you're going to learn to take your next step to get into grade school. And you take those steps because it's going to put you in college. And you take those steps to become a stupid idiot working on this planet thinking you're saving mankind. All right? It has nothing to do with God. When you leave, and you said you travel the astral plane, go beyond that. There's gods that will not let you go past the astral plane. Just so you know, there's 6 dimensions in the astral plane. Each one has 3 dimensions. But when you try to go past that, those gods, Moses is God, and those kind of gods don't let anything go past it until they're ready. Then the next realm has its own God as well. Your vibration has to keep rising. But as you do, you become an incredible being within yourself. It's not about people.
Have you been to triple darkness?
I've been through the dark night of soul, every which way and under. Look, that has nothing to do with call it what you want. When you face God, you'll know the truth, and that's the only way you ever will. And God doesn't allow beings to come up there because they want to. The soul plane, where soul can't go past, it has to let go of the soul body even. Hold on, I got somebody else calling in. Hold on one second.
Do you understand? Okay, no problem.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello? That's you?
Yeah, I'm
Can you hear me?
Here.
What happened to the
Hear you.
Hello?
Yes.
Mike? Michael?
Yes. Mike from Singapore. How are you?
Hey, how are you? Pleasure. Just getting into a conversation with somebody. Were you listening?
I know. Yes, I was listening earlier. You know, that is just beginning of your journey. I mean, it's like when we are in the womb of mother, we have no information or anything about this world. So same thing, once we die, we don't. Then the next level, it will be released to us. Then we will know what was going on. But so, according to our deeds, our good behavior or bad behavior, In the other, say, world, we have a place and a space is kind of reserved for us already. They know what. That's why if they show a little bit of what the other world is looking, everybody will kill themselves in the planet because the other world is so good. But because we don't know what our, a level is in the other world, that's why we don't kill ourselves now. We just waiting, it takes normal course. Until then then we will find out what a level we have in the other world. Am I correct or wrong, my friend?
You're right. You're right about that. I realized I got a bunch of people in the chat room too. I didn't know that. And somebody's just calling Americans ignorant, but that's their choice. You could say you're as wise as a serpent. How wise is a serpent? Serpents get killed and slaughtered and eaten and everything else. So how smart are they? When people talk about wisdom, there's only one true wisdom, and it doesn't come from animals. It doesn't come from a perverted, twisted mind. But I have another person on, and he was getting into this his belief system, which is fine. And I'm totally open to debate anybody about their truth, because it is their truth.
Yes, I understand. Go ahead.
Let me just write. Somebody says we're not. A serpent's not an animal.
In what basis they call that? Can somebody say?
I have no clue. Finish it. I was just trying to write them in the text on that. Hold on. Let me just send it to him. So, yeah.
Can I say one thing real quick about what the gentleman said? How you doing?
Okay, go ahead.
Very good. What's your name?
My name is Universal Moore.
Mr. Moore.
I wanted to... yes.
Go ahead, sir.
What's your name, sir?
Mike from Singapore.
All right, Mike. I'd just like to say that you said, if I follow correctly, you said you're born in your mother and you don't know anything. I kind of taking literal what you're saying. There are some things that we know, and this alludes back to the conversation that we were having earlier with information. We are born with the information, and we have this information, and our bodies are awesome factories or magical wands. And if we understand the true nature of the universe, then you have the true ability to activate these forces that are not seen. Now, one of those forces are just information itself is a vibration, a frequency, an actual thing. And I appreciate the host saying you didn't want to say the name, because I know one of the names too, and it's nothing to play with. And that has a lot to do with the science that I understand. However, we are born with information from our mothers. We're born with the generations past information. If your mother in her generation, she had you in her stomach and the town was going through famine, that would change your digestive process. It will refine the way you do things, and generationally, if food gets better, and for 2 more generations down the line, it gets worse again, your lineage is going to depend on the genes that your mother had when it was through famine to adapt in this physical world. Now, the host said something earlier about the body is nothing. The body is only a manifestation of the energy that it represents. And these energies are strangely mixed, just like DNA. That's why that 23andMe and Ancestry.com are false. And like I said before, we've only scratched the periphery of what DNA is. And it's something very spiritual about DNA. And I mean spiritual in the true essence of the word. Spiritual meaning the very essence of a thing, the very being of a thing. When you take a water molecule and you break it down into its very essence and you observe it, it is the way it is. The hydrogen molecule, the hydrogen atoms align themselves with the oxygen atom specifically at 120 degrees. And if you were to take any water that was different than 120 degrees, it would kill you. Your body wouldn't know how to process it. So on the spiritual level, even when the scientists talk about string theory, when the basic particles of the universe are brought down to a Bose-Einstein condensate, they kind of stretch out and do nothing, and they are actually being exactly what they are, which is a bit of information. And then to talk about the scientists and the spooky action at a distance that they talk about, because they have yet to explain why, which is what I said before. They can see what happened, but they don't know why, and that's where science fails. And that's why, when you walk in a room and you turn the light switch, the toilet doesn't flush, or the refrigerator doesn't pop open.
Well, let me separate this. I got to bring it back to a different level here. All right. I appreciate you calling in. I appreciate what you're saying. I want to tell you some things that nobody knows. Tesla worked with an alien race. He took our technology from nowhere and put it into the 30th century. All right. He created 200 inventions. He created the first radio. All right. Now, being that said, he said mankind will not understand what he created, because he created the first earthquake machine in 1900. All right. He took technology to a level that mankind was not ready to go to, or should have never gone to. All right. When we think we have to make things to become better, is already a perversion of the mind. Mankind, like I would say, God gave us everything we needed. We didn't need any more. If you watch the time machine, the original time machine, it kind of shows you what happens when animal life or creatures or aliens get involved with what was happening. Now, I told you I was aware of all my past lives. When Atlantis was in existence here on this planet, we were all empathic, gifted with 32 different psychic abilities. We didn't talk. We didn't have to. There were 9 colored races here. 4 of them stayed, 5 of them left. All right? Now, when you go into who created, who did this, every race, every person that writes something always creates a God for their belief system, and then they follow it. Now, in the beginning, there was only one God, which created all these little worlds and dimensions. But there are steps to getting closer to God. And what I was going to do today is try to get closer to that. But the idea of death, if you don't understand...
Can I say something?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, life and death. Life of individual begins at the conception, when the soul associates itself with the embryo. When death occurs, the body returns to the world of dust, while the soul continues to progress in the spiritual world of God. To consider that after the death of the body, the spirit perishes, has said, is like imagining that a bear is in a cage and will be destroyed.
See,
if the cage is broken.
Here's something people don't understand. I was doing ghost busting when I was 16 years old. I was doing massive hypnosis when I was 14. I got involved with doing past life regressions and all that, as well as doing exorcisms. But here's the thing. When a person gets ready to die, they are all that they are. The knowledge, unless they had dementia and they lost every bit of knowledge that they spent this whole life to learn. But that knowledge that they are when they die, good, bad, or indifferent, spiritual or not, nobody gets spiritual, not on this planet, but the idea that they're more aware. All right, many people become ghosts and spirits that get stuck here because they're unaware souls. Soul doesn't go to higher realms just because it dies. People assume, I'm following a religion, I'm going to go to heaven. Heaven is a man-made word. Jesus spoke about that in great detail, which is what his teachings were about, and nobody heard him. But again, when we talk about death and where we go, heaven, it's what part of that you're going to go to is depending on how aware you are as soul. If you're not capable of leaving your body in this lifetime, it makes it really hard to do anything when you get to the astral plane when you die. and you only stay there for a short period of time. The time frame that you're stuck there is limited, usually between 5 and 10 years before you